Hey folks, Colin here from Sumthins Recording, and today I'm going to show you how to mix lead vocals with multiband compression. Today we're looking at multiband compression on lead vocals, but before we dive in, if you are ready to go a little bit deeper into the vocal mixing process and really start to perfect your EQ strategy, then I have just the thing for you. It is my ultimate guide to vocal EQ, and it's just a simple PDF that will walk you through how to EQ your vocals step by step to help you get polished and professional sounding vocal mixes without any more of the guesswork. It is a completely free guide, and you can download it below using the link in the video description. Now let's jump in here and take a look at this vocal. So this is kind of an indie rock style song with like a snare, an overhead for the drum kit, some claps. We got bass, a couple acoustic guitars, a piano, and dual lead vocals here. So there's a male and a female vocal. We're going to be looking at the female vocal here today. Let me play you what it sounded like in the mix here, and then I'll solo up the lead vocal so you can hear what it sounds like as it stands. And then we're going to talk about this multiband compressor plugin here at the top of the chain. So here's what it sounded like inside the mix at the moment.
Big brother, change is coming your way too. New baby, holy smokes, I'm so happy for you. Big brother, change is coming your way too. New baby, holy smokes, I'm so happy for you.
So it was a little bit of a tricky vocal to get sitting right in the mix. And let me show you why. Let me take off the multiband compressor here we have at the top of the chain and listen to what our vocal sounds like now.
Big brother, change is coming your way too. New baby, holy smokes, I'm so happy for you.
So it was shifting around a little bit frequency-wise. There was a lot of energy in the low-mid area, and then sometimes it would dissipate. Like you can hear at the end of this last phrase here, it dissipates a little bit, and we hear some of that nice top-end air on her vocal. That's cool, that's what we want, but we don't want the low end to be shifting all around while she's singing, right? We want her to have some low-end weight to her, but we want to hear that top-end shine as well. And we don't want the weight to disappear, and then for the shine to get overshadowed by the weight at some points. That's why we need multiband compression. We need to control that low end weight and then sit it in one place so it's not moving up and down across her vocal. And the same thing with the top end, same thing with the mid range here. So we're going to use our multiband to control specific frequency ranges across our vocal here. So let's talk about setting up the multiband to get it working on your vocal here. So I'm going to open up this EQ here that we have before our multiband, just doing a little bit of roll off about below 200, 182 here. And then I'm going to open up the multiband here as well. So we'll stick our multiband over here, and then we'll stick our EQ here. This way you can see how we're breaking up the frequency ranges. I used the EQ here before our multiband to see where the bulk of frequencies are sitting so I can divide it up into a couple different ranges. We're using 5 different ranges here on the multiband. You can see we've got one big range at the bottom and then a couple smaller ranges up at the top end here. We're going to talk about them here as I hit play. So if I hit play here, and I'm going to just pull the master down all the way here. So if I hit play, we're going to look at our EQ and then we're going to look at our multiband at the same time here. So I hit play here on our vocal. You can see we've got a little break here, right? That's our 450 and below, right? So if we're watching our big break here below, that's where our low end's sitting on the vocals. That's our 450. And then we can see we've got one at like a little bit above 1K. That's this guy right here. So then we've got this range here from 450 to a little over 1K. Then we're going up to about 2.8K. So just below 3K here. That's our next frequency range here. You can see there's a little bit of energy going on there. Then we're going from 2.8K up to 5.6K. So if we look here, a little bit below 3K and then a little bit below 6K, that frequency range kind of working together there. And then we have everything above about 6K. You can see that kind of works on its own agenda as well. So we've broken it up into a couple different frequency ranges here that we can treat individually, and it's not going to move around too much, right? We don't want to just do giant frequency ranges where different different portions of the vocal are working in different ways. We want to break it up where kind of the frequency ranges are working together in those different ranges. So below here on the bottom, this is our low mid area, right? And then we're moving up 1.5 to 2.8. That's kind of our mid range on our vocal. Then we've got 2.8 up to there, up to about 5.6 there. That frequency range there, that's kind of our high mid area, right? It can get a little bit harsh there. That's where the vocal's cutting through a little bit. And then we've got our top end, which is 5.6 and above. So that's our S's, our sibilants, and the nice air on our vocals. So you want to divide it up first into frequency ranges that are working together. All right, we can get rid of this EQ here now and start talking about these different pieces on our multiband. What we're going to do to demonstrate what this multiband is doing is we're going to do it frequency range by frequency range. So we're going to start down here at the bottom. So this is everything below about 450 hertz here. And you can see the settings we're using on the multiband are the same for every range here. We're going 20 to 1, so it's working like a limiter. And then we have fastest attack, and fastest release here. That way we're limiting each range here. We can sit it where we want it, and then we can use the gain knob here to move it up and down to balance it against the other frequency ranges. And that's what we're going to do here. So we're going to start with the bottom here. You can see how much compression we're doing, what our bottom sounds like, and then we'll slowly add in each frequency range above here. So here's just 450 and below on the vocal.
Big brother, change is coming your way too. New baby, holy smokes, I'm so happy for you. Big brother, change is coming your way too. New baby.
So you can see how much compression we're doing, how we're really pinning this low end and low mid area so it's not moving around on our vocal here. We want to make sure she has some nice weight and some nice low end to her voice so she's not thin sounding in the mix, but we don't want it to dissipate on some of these lines. Like you can hear our compressor does a little bit less work on this middle line here and on this end line here where there's not as much low end in her voice. So that's why we're using that there. Let's add in our low mid energy here on the vocal.
Big brother, change is coming your way too. New baby, holy smokes, I'm so happy for you. Big brother, change is coming your way too. New baby, holy.
So you can see we're not doing as much work here on the middle frequency, so 1.5, or I'm sorry, 450 hertz to 1.5K. That's kind of our mid-range there. We're not doing as much work on that frequency range. We're just touching the top of it to make sure it's not getting too out of control. Just leveling out just the top there so it's not jumping all around. And then we're using our gain knob here to balance these two. So this is pulled down just a little bit here, and then we've pulled down our low end about 8 dB. So we've pinned our low end so it's really consistent, and then we used our gain knob here to balance it inside the mix. Let's add our next frequency range. So we're moving up here 1.5 to 2.8 here. So this is moving up towards our high mid area, but still kind of our mid range here. So this is that middle area that can get a little bit nasally or telephony sounding. So let's add this in here.
Big brother, change is coming your way too. New baby, holy smokes, I'm so happy for you. Big brother, change is coming your way too.
So you can see again on this middle frequency, we're not doing that much work. Our low end is taking the bulk of the work at the moment here. We're just touching that top of it to make sure it's not jumping all around, right? Just a little bit of leveling on the top end of these two frequency ranges here. So this 450 to 1.1 and then 1.1 to 2.8K here. Just a little bit of leveling out on the top end there. And again, we're just pulling this back just about a dB there to balance it against our low end. So not that much work on these two middle band frequencies. Let's move up here to our high mid frequency. So this is our 2.8 to 5.6K. This is that frequency range that can get a little bit harsh, but it also adds that energy that's going to make your vocal cut through in the mix. So take a listen to what we're doing on this frequency range.
Big brother, change is coming your way too. New baby, holy smokes, I'm so happy for you. Big brother, change is coming your way too.
So those frequencies where it starts to jump out a little bit and get a little bit too harsh, we're taking care of that, right? You can see our multiband's going to work, making sure that doesn't jump above and jump out in our vocal. Everything else is pretty mellow. We're not doing that much work on anything else. But where it gets harsh, our multiband's there to hold it in place. So now that we've controlled that range, we can pull that range up to make sure our vocal cuts through the mix and that it's sitting balanced with the rest of our vocal. That's the other nice thing about using the multiband. You can kind of see where each frequency range is sitting, and you can balance them against each other here. So we're pulling that frequency range up about 5 dB here. And then last one here is our top end. So let me play what this top end frequency sounds like in with everything else. And you can see this is kind of where we're doing the most boost with our gain here. This is sitting opposite our low end where we did the biggest cut. So watch how much compression we're doing here, and then you can see how much gain we're boosting up as well on the top end.
Big brother, change is coming your way too. New baby, holy smokes, I'm so happy for you. Big brother, change is coming your way too.
So you can see we're really attacking that sibilance range there. So it's really controlled and it's not jumping out. It doesn't get harsh, doesn't get edgy or anything, right? We're controlling that sibilance range so we can pull up this top end and give her that nice air and that nice beautiful top end that we want on a female vocal like this. So now we've got all of our frequency ranges in. And then all you do here, once you've got them all in, just go through one more time, listen to the whole vocal, and do little tweaks on your gain here. So that's how I finish this off here. Just hit play on the vocal. You can listen to it in the track if you want. So we'll throw it in the track one more time. Just listen through. Listen, is there too much low end? Is there too much top end? Is it jumping out too much in the mid range? See if you need to do any more controlling and just tweak your gain knobs a little bit to balance your vocal inside the track.
Big brother, change is coming your way too. New baby, holy smokes, I'm so happy for you.
So if you have a vocal that's jumping around frequency-wise, things aren't sitting where they should, things are shifting around in the frequencies, low end's going in and out and disappearing, top end's jumping out too much in certain phrases, try using a multiband compressor. Split up your frequency ranges, and so they're working together, right? You don't want to just jump across frequency ranges. Find frequency ranges that are working together, isolate them with your multiband, and work and build it frequency range by frequency range. So start with your low end, add your low mids in, add your mid range, add your high mids, and add your top end. Control them first, and then as you add each one in, use your gain knobs to balance them with each other to get your vocal sitting evenly and smoothly inside the mix. I hope that was helpful for you. As I said at the beginning of the video, if you're ready to take your vocals to the next level and really start dialing in your workflow with EQ, then I have just the tool for you, and it is completely free. It is my ultimate guide to vocal EQ, and you can download it below to start creating more professional vocal mixes in less time. Thank you so much for watching, and I will see you in the next video.